Check, check.
Hey, Catherine. Let me just change my properties real quick. There we go. Boom, boom. Alright, so mic's on. It's working, it's doing its thing. My package just got here, giggity giggity. So I'm happy about that. So I don't have to go postal on someone. Let me just move this big hefty box of Magic the Gathering out of the way. Ugh. And I can explain what it was that I ordered. I ordered a play mat because I've got a Magic the Gathering tournament I'm going to on Saturday. It's a Commander game. I've got some Magic cards on their way too, some extra Commander cards on their way too. So yeah, well, that'll be fun. I get to design and build a new Commander deck. I've got some miniatures I have to prime, so I'm gonna be doing that right this second. So I've got to bust out my gloves real quick, and of course I forgot to get my some water to drink and to use, well, to have, and also to clean my brushes with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these already primed models out of the way, and we're going to be painting up our Poxwalkers. We're basically going to try and just power on and get through what needs to get done for these guys, because like I said, I've got a 40k match coming up here in the next couple of, it'll be a Saturday, so I've got to put some primer on these guys right here. And I know I said I was going to use Mortarion, but I'm not sure if I will be using him now, because he's not ready yet, and he will not be ready, because he's going to take me at least 24-48 hours just to paint him alone. Right, so I'm going to take my watch off, because, you know, I don't want to get polyurethane primer on my thing. Grab your coffee. Don't drink the brush water. No, I have no intentions of drinking the brush water. So I hope you like the new close-up camera. That way you guys can see what I'm painting, and I can adjust it. So if I'm out of view or whatever, you guys can just say, hey, yo, can't see, and I can adjust the camera. My face cam that I had in front of me, it gave me a fizz pop, and now it doesn't work. So looks like we're just down to the one camera, and it is what it is, guys. And I am not gonna bother messing around with webcams or anything else, or cables or whatnot, because I am that far behind. I fell asleep at this desk last night working on some miniatures and whatnot. I'm not even joking, I legit just I woke up with my face with miniatures stuck to it. It's not pretty, wasn't a pretty view. Alright, so we're just double checking the PSI on the air compressor, and that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort these out, grab a little mini holder. Okay, so we've got yes, I've got enough Poxwalkers. So I'll just paint these up real quick. This is probably going to be the quickest I've ever painted Poxwalkers. legit am just fogging up the area. I was, in order to get into the mood to paint Poxwalker / zombie things, I started watching old school like Dawn of the Dead and whatnot, and so some of these guys are doing their best Michael Jackson Thriller-esque style poses, you know. Yeah, so I'm gonna legit just come up with some of the quickest ways I've ever done to get a minimum of 3 colors on these guys, because the tournament requirements is minimum 3 colors. So most of my miniatures are 3 colors, so that's good. But some of the other things, like my tanks and a few other things, do need to be tweaked. I have contacted the tournament organizer. They're okay with still pictures. What they're not okay with is video and whatnot. And I can't take still pictures of things like price tags and things of that nature. And if someone says, please don't take a picture of me, that's it. I don't take any pictures of them, you know. But what I might do is just focus on playing more so than anything else. And it's literally only going to be like a round robin style, max 4 turn style tournament. So after the 4th turn, it goes down to your command points, i.e. how many points you've got captured, things of that nature. And if you've captured enough of the control points and whatnot, you win the game. So it's not necessarily all about various other things. And there is a contest for the most well-painted army. So, and no, I highly doubt I'm going to be winning that. But my goal right this second is to just get these guys primed, painted, with at least, you know, something on them. And then what I might do is finish off some other models that I've got, because these are just rank and file, so I'm not going to be spending, you know, 20 minutes, half hour per miniature. The max I'm going to spend is probably about 10 minutes per miniature for the rank and file. And I will try my best to work on more interesting units, because like I said, I've barely just got primer on Mortarion, and Mortarion will take me 24-48 hours of non-stop, and I mean non-stop. If I was going to do it, it would have to be non-stop. Like, I'd have to bust out my hairdryer to dry off inks and whatnot, and have to use oils at the very last step, and pray that none of the judges actually want to manhandle my Mortarion. See, normally I would use oil paints and on at least 3 or 4 steps, but because I'm so far behind because of my online schooling, that I just Are you painting these for myself? Yes and no. Unlock 6 or 7 vehicles in a few days instead of a month. Nice. Yeah, War Thunder Premiums will unlock your vehicles a lot quicker because they gain more EXP. That's their sole job. Their sole job isn't necessarily to help you grind out credits. Their job is to help you get through your tier trial, through the, you know, from tier 1, tier 2 into tier 3 into tier 4 kind of thing, you know. Alright. So that's them. Now I've got to put some primer on these. These are Mortarian's wings. I'm just going to have to hold them. Playing Rocket, which is a tier 8 105 cannon. Yeah, it's a good tank. Wheeled vehicles, just like in most tank games, are just overpowered because the whole ground resistance thing, Russians for some reason don't know how to code them. No offense to Russians and whatnot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that little area down there unprimed because, well, I have to. What I will do is I will leave. There's my clear coat. Like I said, I'm going old school. I'm even grabbing clear coat in a can. Clear varnish in a can because I just need to get these done. I can't even afford to thin out the stuff I do have on my desk, so God bless Poundland. One more squirt. Plus my local hobby store that I'm going to be playing at is actually out of the big bottles of the black polyurethane. So they can't seem to get it back in order. Their distributor's like, sorry, we just can't get it. So and as you guys know, the last couple of weeks I've been having someone steal my Amazon packages to the point where I have found a drop-off box, but it's with a private company and I have to pay an additional fee in order to have my stuff saved. And even Amazon is like, you shouldn't have to pay for that. I'm like, well, I'm paying for Prime, I'm paying for this, I'm paying for that. And it's annoying. it's annoying to say the least. Right, so we're gonna whack some primer in, some cleaner in here. I'm gonna pull out my fine detail brush. Let's get the cleaning brush. Any big tank models? Yeah, I've got a couple. I've got Chaos Knights. I've got a couple of Rhinos. I've got a Predator that I'm building. I've got a couple of Blight drones as well. Case in point, this is Blight Drone 1. I've got to fix because the gun's snapped off of it because this is one of those press fit kits that GW came out with and then realised that it sucks. I've got tons of big models, mate. If you're asking, I mean, there's a Dreadnought for you as well. Let me grab Mortarion because he's quite on the large scale side of things. Let my compressor build up pressure again. Alright. Yeah, so yeah. Hey Katrina, honey, how you doing? How's the little wee one? How's your mum? She hasn't messaged me. I messaged her on Discord. She hasn't gotten back to me. Tell her to get back to me. Can't understand why countries are leaving packages outside rather than just handing them to the customer. It's because they're lazy. I mean, to the point where I've even put on the packages, please call. You know, I even leave a sign on my window saying, you know, dear Amazon delivery guy, please call my number. You know, I'm home, but the doorbell don't work. Call my number. I will, you know, they don't call. They don't call. Yeah, so you want to see some of the bigger stuff I've got. Okay. This is my Chaos Knight. So you can get a rough idea of scale-wise. That's my Chaos Knight. This is an Imperial Guardsman. Oh no! Well, have her message me, please, sweetheart. I want to talk. I want to have a good old chinwag with her. I want to have a catch up. You know. Anyway, yeah, like I said, this is a Chaos Knight that is completely 3D printed. And to prove it's completely 3D printed, there you go. It's completely 3D printed. Thank you, honey. Like I said, all completely 3D printed, with the exception of certain parts like the skulls and some things that I added from my 40k skull box set. But yeah, the base is 3D printed. The Death Knight's 3D printed. He's actually going in the army for the battle, so he's done. At least he's ready to be tabletop used. He's not finished, but there you go. I have no idea why, but every manga delivered in their cardboard package is hecking damaged. Yeah, I don't know what it is either. It's like all of a sudden people are just like, well, you know, it's like people just all of a sudden just don't care. So yeah, I've got that. I've also got Greater Demons. This is my Greater Demon of Slaanesh. Again, this is a custom sculpt that I did. So this is for my Slaanesh army. So I look forward to seeing that. What about World War II tanks? Yes, absolutely. I've got tons of those. In fact, I've got a box full. Not even kidding. Here, let me just get it for you real quick. Some of these are 3D printed. Some of these are kits that I've bought. This is a 3D printed Jagdpanzer 2. This is 128 scale. Here is a German captured KV2. Let's see what else we've got. Not one, but two Tiger 1s. We've got a Panther. We've got a couple of Shermans. So let's see, we've got a Sherman Firefly right here. This is not painted yet. I'm going to be painting these when I get to doing my bolt action British Army. And we've got an American Sherman as well with a custom sculpted crewman as well. I've also got my Panzer III J1. I've got 3 of these. This is 1. This is 2. And this is 3. I do Africa Corps campaign. So, you know. What the heck is a Jagdpanther? A Jagdpanther is a German heavy tank destroyer based on the Panther chassis. So they took the 88mm gun and the 105mm gun. There's two variants of the Jagdpanther. They took the 88mm gun to start off with from the Tiger 1, mounted it. That's the Jagdpanther 1. The Jagdpanther 2 is still based on the Panther chassis. So let me get you the Panther real quick, and you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, they're still based relatively on the same chassis design, but they took the Tiger 2s, the King Tigers 105, and redesigned the entire tank. The Jagdpanther 1, the gun is more it's more of a forward-facing gun, and the rear is more. You can find the tank in World of Tanks. This is literally, you know, World of Tanks has the Jagdpanther 1 and the Jagdpanther 2. The Jagdpanther 2 is got the 105 gun, and it's more settled backwards for recoil control, and literally was designed to, hence the extra range finders, was designed to be a sniping tank. There was 2, I think it was 3 or 4 Jagdpanther 2s that actually helped try to defend Berlin. So they're an actual real tank that was used. So yeah, there's tons. Like I said, I got tons of tank models. I 3D print them. I also build model kits of them. I'm working on some 1/35 scale model kits from a company that wants to maybe talk about doing some aftermarket kit stuff for them. I know you want me to do a 1/35th scale ERA stuff. I am still working on that. I've got to get the scaling right. For some reason, it's not scaling correctly, but I am working on that. Can you do a historical Russian T-72B3 in the Ukraine? I could. I could take a look and see what I've got for you, mate. I am doing good, thank you, KK. How are you, darling? I mean, my health's not the greatest, but other than that, I'm okay. You know, I'm okay. Like I said, I recently reached out to someone that got back to me today. So I got a bit of bad news about some things, but I'm okay other than that. This is my Great Unclean One. This is my Greater Demon of Nurgle. I will be taking him to the tournament as well. So like I said, it's a 2,000 point army. So I've got choices. I've also got my Bloodthirster. This is for a Khorne army that I'm going to be doing later on down the line. This is my Bloodthirster proxy. So yeah, that's my Skype that just went blip blip, and of course we've got our Mortarion, our Demon Primarch of Nurgle, which is right here. You just saw me. Did you saw me prime his wings? He is nowhere near ready. Thank you, sweetheart. He is nowhere near ready for the tournament, but I'm going to take him anyway, and I'll probably get penalised points-wise because he's not... I mean, I'll try to get some colours on him, hopefully today. If not today, you know, in the next couple of days, because like I said, this is all I'm going to be doing for the next couple of days is just power grinding to try and get this Death Guard army started. Like I said, I've got a couple of fast attack blight drone, fast attack plague crawlers. I've got 3 of these. This one's from Games Workshop. These 2 are mine that are 3D printed. So that's why they're not on a base just yet. Bases, they don't really care so much about bases because I can buy bases at the local hobby store. But like I said, these have got to get at least primered, and so hence that's why I converted one of my Death Guard greens into a spray primer. So I will be throwing some Death Guard green on some of these guys, and in order to do that, now I've got to decide: do I want to try and go old school with my paint system, or do I want to try this whole slap chop thing? Because the slap chop method is great and all, because like I said, these guys were done using a slap chop method. So all I got to do is really just paint their clothing and paint the weapons, and then those guys are done. So these guys are a lot. I mean, honestly, these guys are the most furthest along. So I've got right now, like I said, I'm doing a lot of infantry right now, guys. So, like I said, these are just some of the Poxwalkers I've got. Some are in different states, like I said, because I started collecting these when I was living in Boston. I'm now in Reading, and it's 5 years later. So these guys need to get done. They've been sitting on my bench, mostly because I keep pushing them back because I keep getting customers' builds. And customers' paint jobs come along, and so it's like, okay, well, if I've got customers coming along, I've got to push mine back, you know what I mean? Because there's no point in me holding back customers' builds. So all of these are going to get at least based today / a lot further on, and that's not including my Renegade guys. I've still got to work on getting some Renegade Guardsmen somewhat together as well and painted. So I've got a lot of stuff to paint. So just tag along with me, guys. I'm not going to be ignoring chat. I don't do that. You guys know this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my chat and move you to the big TV so I can at least read what you guys are saying. It's just I'm going to be focusing on the miniatures. And again, like I said, guys, I'm not ignoring you. You know, if you really do need to get a hold of me, you know, there are ways, as you guys know, there are ways. So let me go to my channel real quick. Yes, I know I'm live. There we go. Got to turn the music audio off. Right, so look, there we go. Now I can concentrate on because I can see the chat now. So, because the chat that's on my OBS is so tiny, I can barely read it. Now you guys are. There we go. And I love you too. How can I not love you? I mean, you guys are amazing. You're beautiful. You're sexy. You're gorgeous. You're just adorable. And that little girl, oh my god, she is so cute. Can't believe she's 5. Like, holy smokes. She's getting big, darling. Oh my god. So happy for you. What do I think? What do I think about what, mate? Such a broad question. What do I think? What do I think about what? Right, so I guess I can do some in Death Guard Green. Again, I'm gonna knock these guys out real quick. So I'm gonna grab these guys right here and hit them with some Death Guard Green and a few other things. Itchy beard, itchy beard, itchy beard. Yeah, we'll use my prime. I know she'll be going to school this summer when she turns 5. Wow. Oh, the T32, T72 B3. No, it's just a T7. It's just a T7. It's a T70 series. It is what it is. It's Soviet. You know, it's Soviet. So, you know, I can't really say I hate it because I don't. I don't hate any tank. I don't say one tank's more superior than another either. You know, everyone's like, well, why don't you just... Because I'm not a Tia Boo, I'm not a Commie Boo, I'm not a Vera Boo, you know. And because we're using an established colour like Death Guard Green, I can touch it up if mistakes happen. Look at Discord. I can't, mate. I don't have Discord on this rig. I've only got it on the other computer. I will when I take a break and get some water. I'll take a look at it then, okay? Go to cinema for some anime movie, but of course I can't because of my stupid sister is in kindergarten. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, I'll do a dry brush. well, yeah, I'll hit it with the bases and then we'll go from there first. But like I said, I've got a Magic tournament to go to, as well as a 40k tournament. It's being held in the same building, but at different times. You know, I was kind of bummed because almost 700 pages of manga to read. Oh, there you go, man. No, I was kind of bummed because they recently put up I Am Legend on Amazon here in the UK, and I can remember that the ending of I Am Legend was a lot different than the ending that's on the Amazon version. And then I read that there is actually 3 different endings to I Am Legend. And I'm like, well, that's fucking stupid. You know? It's like, what's the point of that? You know? There's one where Will Smith, that's on the Amazon here in the UK, where he pulls out the hand grenade and rushes towards the infected, you know, and then like goes out like a hero. And then there's another one where he wheels out the woman's body, the infected person's body, and they leave him alone. You know, the leader like tells them all to leave him alone, and they do. You know, exactly. And then there's a third one where he escapes with them, and they make it to where they make it to the like the Canadian border. Even though it's not Canada, it's actually New Hampshire, which I find hilarious. Hilarious. Because they didn't bother they didn't bother to CGI or get rid of the New Hampshire signs. But they will CGI in a whole bunch of zombies and whatnot, but they won't CGI out the New Hampshire signs. Okay. And we're supposed to think that New Hampshire is in Canada. But no, I remember that the I Am Legend movie was causing such a lot of controversy when it first came out because there was 3 separate endings. I think it was something to do with the movie studio wanted to find out what country pirated the movie the most, or something like that. And so they came out with three separate endings to find out what country pirated the movie the most. And it turns out they thought it was the Asian market, but it wasn't. It was actually the American market. And that's the one that had the ending that no one liked, because that's the one where Will Smith pulls out the hand grenade and charges towards the infected. Right, so we've got a base green on those. I'm going to grab these guys now, get a base green on these. Yeah, I just thought it was quite silly, to be honest with you. I was like, okay, hang on, wait, what? Actually, I'm missing one. I am missing one of my poxwalkers. Ah ha 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 ha. There he is. He was a hiding. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm just going to grab all these guys and get at least a base color on them all. And then that way I can decide what I want to do color wise with the rest. Yeah, I Am Legend. It's a good movie. I was watching it, you know, I had it on in the background while I was painting, and then I fell asleep. I legit fell asleep at this desk, in this most uncomfortable chair ever, and somehow I managed to fall asleep. And all I can say is, thank you, British Army. Because it was the bloody British Army that taught me how I could sleep anywhere. Right, so there's that one. Let's grab this one. So how's everyone else doing today? Good? I am going to be painting miniatures pretty much all fucking day. Like I said, I'm going to be doing this all day. And who said that this should be a hobby? That this should be therapeutic? Huh? I'm getting more stressed out about this than anything else. And the messed up thing is, when I'm done with this army, I'm actually just going to throw it up on eBay and sell it. My friend was like, what? I'm like, yeah, I've got no room to keep it. I mean, I'll probably keep like Mortarion and you know, the units that I actually want to, that I care about, you know, because I'm going to put a lot of time, energy, and effort into those guys. Knew the nozzle was blocked. Much better. And so, yeah, so some of the models I'll keep, but the majority of the army I'm probably just going to throw it up on eBay or something. It can be relaxing. It can be relaxing, darling. It can be. When you're not rushed, it's definitely relaxing. But because I'm rushed right now, I mean, I think all I've had to eat right now is half a candy bar. I really haven't even had time to eat yet today. Plus it's going to be raining here in about 10-15 minutes is what the weather app is telling me. And like I said, the Death Guard green doesn't have to be perfect because they're zombies. You know, there's no such way as doing a perfect zombie. Aww. Yeah, it's been raining off and on here in the UK for a good couple of days now. Give me a second, guys. I've got to mix this up a little bit. Yeah. Much better. Ooh. Yeah, I know how you feel, darling. We did have some good weather the past couple of weeks. It was quite mild and overcasty. You know, it was like a weird day. It's like it's too hot to wear a sweater, but too cold to wear a t-shirt. You know, one of those weird days. We're coming along. We're coming along. Where's my thinner? Much better. Are you done spitting? got to strip the needle out and clean it. There's a blockage on the needle somewhere. I'll do that during my lunch. Well, I'll do that during my hydration break. Okay. Last Poxwalker left, and then after that it's, well, technically zombies slash Poxwalkers. The zombies. Okay, so I can put you guys over there. Grab this pseudo half crawler. Oh god, he's actually missing a head. Poor bastard. Well, half his face anyway. Poor bastard. Going to be in the 80s. Oh, good lord, where are you? I don't think it'd be in the 80s in Utah. See, and that's the best thing about failed prints, is you can always turn them into zombies or something, you know? You're in Florida now. Wow. That was a bit of a move. You got to Florida. Holy cow, darling. Must be humid there. How's your brothers? Are they okay? How's Josh and Bubba? See, I remember him. I remember Josh and Bubba. Alright, so we're gonna grab the... I bet. Must feel like you're swimming in soup. Good, good, good. See, this guy was actually 2 failed prints that I put together and turned it into a zombie. Oh yeah? You've been staying inside the house, huh? I don't blame you. Do not blame you, darling. I don't blame you at all, darling. I'd be the same way. I'd be like, nope. Alright. So that's the zombie slash plague walkers done. Let's start with typhus. Typhus based. You too, phone. Grab these Death's Life Terminators. These are custom sculpts as well that I did as well, so with my 3D printers. Right, that's the top down for him. I'm going to cheat when it comes to these Death Scythe guys. I'm going to do what's known as a double zenithal cover. Been staying inside. Well, that's good to know, darling. It's good to make sure you stay safe and hydrated, you know. Because we're also going to be airbrushing in some browns in on this as well. You look at that, I'm actually out. First time. Oh. Alright, so let me just yeah. That's good for you. Why are you spitting? Why are you spitting? Let me check the moisture trap real quick. No, the moisture trap's not that bad. Mind you, the compressor is a little bit hot, so I'll give it a few minutes and then we'll let it cool down. That's why we're getting moisture in the line. Alright, so I'm going to let that cool down. My compressor cooled down anyway. So, because my compressor's a little bit too hot even to the touch. So what we can do is while we're waiting on the compressor to cool down, I've got to clean the brush anyway, so the airbrush anyway. So what I'm going to do is where is my cleaner? There it is. This is my fine tip airbrush. It's literally designed to get into some very tight places. Giggity. If you haven't already, could you please give the stream a thumbs up? Greatly appreciate it, guys. I really would. If you could do that, that'd be great. Because it lets the YouTube algorithms know that we're here, you liked my content, you know. Hey Buzz, I am painting a Death Guard army. I've got a tournament to go to Saturday, and so I am currently painting some Death Shroud Terminators, Typhus, and some 3D printed proxy Poxwalkers, along with some actual Poxwalkers. So just let my airbrush cool down for a little bit because it's not got a compressor housing in it, so basically my airbrush does overheat a little bit. So well, darling, like I said, I have a store. You know, I'm working on getting the website back up and running. So I'm going to let my air compressor cool down for maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes because it's a little bit, I mean, I can't even touch it. And I've still got to put some primer on these drones. So, well, some base coat on the drones, sorry. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to probably start looking at dry brushing up some of these Poxwalkers to get a little bit of work done. We've also got these Poxwalkers down here. Like I said, let me just move these Death Shrouds off the bench so I can get to those, as well as Typhus here in a bit. Not enough room, too many paints, not enough room. You know how it is. Black drones look so cool. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I do. I actually have one of those. That's right here. I got to fix the guns on it, but come on, camera, focus. But there you go. So I also have a Great Unclean one. This is from my store as well. This is 3D printed. This is gonna be part of my Death Guard army. It's a 2,000 point Death Guard army. I just like to have options. So I've got, you know, I've got a Grand Clang one. I've got Typhus as well, right here. I've also got Mortarion right here. So I've got plenty of options to pick from HQ's wise. So like I said, I've got options, and that's what I like. I like to have options. I've also got some, like I said, if I'm gonna go with Typhus, I've got to go with Poxwalkers. If I'm gonna go with Mortarion, I've got to look at probably getting some Renegade Guardsman models, which I've got in a box over there, painted up and ready. This is gonna be my Renegade Captain. This is gonna be my Renegade Captain as well. Karsgors, 20 of them yesterday, and I did bases today. Oof, lucky you, mate. And they fly like that, they're going a different unit compared to the on wheels. Yep. Well, you know what? I'm good for you, mate. I actually, ironically, am in the process of custom printing a Sorcerer of Tzeentch. Stop doing that autofocus thing. A custom print of a Sorcerer of Tzeentch. He's the one from the Talon of Horus series of books. He's the one that's narrating the story. What is his name? Give me a second here. It's not Trazon. Ishtan Kantor. That's it. It's Ishtan Kantor. Yeah, I'm doing a custom 3D print of Ishtan Kantor. Abaddon the Despoiler's personal assassin. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at do I want to start knocking out the base colours? Of course I do. So I'm going to need some browns. I've got a wet palette here. It's probably dry as a bone because, like I said, I haven't been. Yeah, it's dry as a bone. Like I said, I haven't been whacking out some painting videos in a while. So I've got to go downstairs and get me. Yeah, it's dry as a bone. And get me some water real quick, guys. So give me a few seconds. I got to fill up my water containers. So, uno momento, por favor. Don't go anywhere. I will be back. Like I said, I just got to refill my water jugs and a few other things. Let's move that out of the way. Where's my other water jug? I know I've got two up here. This is the first one. Where's the second? Ah, it's on the bed. Open your eyes, Dad. I do. I am back. Sorry about that, guys. Had to refill the water bottles and grab myself a snack. Oh, whoop, there we go. Got a light on now. Now I can see. Okay, so this is my drinking water. This one. Thank you. Whew, that's good. Right, so let me It's to stop me from spilling it all over the place. Bit of a clumsy I'm a bit of a clumsy person, I am. Alright, so in fact what I'm going to do is move that over here. Put that. Out of the way. That's all my elements. Get a quick nibble. I'm going to ask how easy or hard is it to set up airbrushing and how much space do you need? It depends on what you're going to be airbrushing. If you're going to be airbrushing acrylics, there's nothing really toxic about it. You may need to buy, you will need to buy some airbrush thinner, and you will need to buy some cleaner and thinner. Thinner is for thinning your paints, depending if your paints are pre-thinned. If they're pre-thinned, i.e. it'll say like airbrush ready on them, which means you won't need a thinner. You'll just need a cleaner to clean your airbrush, but you can also use regular tap water and a little bit of dish detergent. Not much, just a little bit, because you want to make sure that your O-rings on your airbrushes are safe. If you're in the UK, you can get a cheap airbrush and compressor set up for about £65–70 on Amazon, and that will do. That's what I'm using. I'm not even joking. Here, I'll grab my compressor and show it to you real quick. It's down here. It's legit right here. It's a tiny little compressor. The only thing you don't get is the T-junction. I added the T-junction because I needed it for running two airbrushes. I have a base brush and I have a fine detail brush. But yes, and it also gives me the ability to add a third airbrush if I want to later on down the line. This one does not have a container tank. Now, a container tank means that this thing would pump up the tank, fill it with air, and then that way you can airbrush quietly without fear of waking up, you know, whatever. But at the same time, once that tank rate gets too low, the pump will kick in and fill it back up for you. Because this one doesn't have one, and when I pull on the trigger, it will just start pumping air to meet the PSI that I ask for, and that does generate a little bit more heat. But like I said, that's the compressor I bought. I got it for, at the time I got it for 70 something pounds, and I bought the second airbrush and needles separately. You can buy the needles in kits. They'll come with a needle, a tip, and a tip protector. Basically, these are what the needles look like. They'll come in different sizes: 0.5, 0.2, and I believe this one's 0.3. Yeah, 0.2, 0.5, 0.3, 0.2, and they will come with little brass tips that go inside the front of the airbrush. I've got a video on YouTube here on how to clean and set up your airbrushes and whatnot. So let me just. I do apologise, but this is probably the only thing I've eaten all day. In fact, it is. I appear to have misplaced my one moment, guys. It's just a poor man's marathon or Snickers bar. They just come in smaller, bite-sized things. Where did I put mine? I've got a great big pack full of sponges and everything else for my wet palette. And do you think I can find it? This is the most unprofessional stream I have ever seen. Where are you? I found my pipettes. Huh. I even found my World War II paint strategy guide for my bolt action army. But do you think I can actually find the one thing that I need right this second? Nope. Oh, this is so unprofessional, Dan. This is so unprofessional. I'm unsubscribing. No, please don't. Oh my god, this is like so unprofessional. Like for real, where did they all go? I'm not even joking. I bought out my local hobby store of every single wax sheet for my wet palette system that they had in stock. Is this it? No, that's not it. I'm going to find everything I'm not looking for. There you go. I found my old SSDs. I really do need to have a good clean. Like a really, really, really good clean. Found my old work shirt. What's this? Oh, that's my old fighting stick. Okay, well, see, like I said. Found my dice, which is always good, so I'm going to need those for Saturday. Oh, good lord, come on, Dan. Think for a minute, mate, think. Where would you be? They're not under my desk. They're not on my computer, or on the top of my computer case. They're not on the blue shelf. Think for a minute, Dan. No, that's my FET sheets for my 3D printers. This is incredibly unprofessional. I am so sorry, guys. Are you in my spare paint bag? No. But I did find my liquid green stuff. Okay, cool. Not that I need that right now. No, that's not it. Heavens above. Give me a minute, guys. I am so sorry for this. Bolt action is World War II, but think 40k, but World War II. So you can do early, mid, or late in the war. So if you do early, you can play as the Axis, the Allies, Japanese, the Italians, things of that nature. But you are limited. But you're limited in what units you can take. And you're limited in like theatres of war. Case in point, early war is Eastern Front, Poland, things of that nature. Mid-war is Africa campaign, still the Eastern Front, and also part of the Western Front. Then late war is pretty much the whole European theatre, depending on what nation you play. And there's also one they do called Conflict 47, which is a sci-fi. What if what if America didn't drop the H bombs on Japan, and the war continued to escalate? Kind of story arc. I think I might have found them. Oh no, those are my sponges. Okay, cool. Well, I found my rubbing sponges. That's good. Or what? Smoothing sponges is what I use them for clearing off mould lines. That's what these are for. I thought that was them, but that's not it. Dang it. Okay, I found my mixing balls. My little BBs. That's not them either. Now think, Dan. Where would you be? They're not going to be on the other desk, because that's for gaming. That's for my PC and whatnot. So it's not going to be over on that desk. But there's my coffee, so... Ew, cold coffee, that's fine. Sorry, I am ranting. That's how my brain handles things that I'm trying to find. It's like, okay, put yourself in your shoes. Like, I don't even remember buying this bit set, but apparently I bought this screwdriver bit set. And that's the problem with dementia, which is something sadly I do have. So I'm constantly having to remind myself of things, and it's fine, guys. I'm okay with it. I really am. It is what it is. Can't be helped. A lot of people are like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I was diagnosed with onset dementia, so I paint to keep my mind active and a few other things." So I do apologise, guys, if I can't find it. I need to find them because I've got to be wet. I've got to be wet blending, but come on, Dan. Where would you put them? Oh, I found my Citadel box of skulls. That's good. Put those there. And I found my speed paints. There's my oil paints. Where is my mixing palette? Come on, man. Pull your head out, you butt. Okay. Coffee filters are for something else. Nuts. Oh well, I'm being stumped by a simple thing such as, you know what, I've got some grease paper downstairs. I'm just going to get that. Give me a minute. No, I don't have any grease paper downstairs. Boss. Give me a second. I've got. My brain will kick in a few seconds. Okay, you can go in there. You, Mr. Death Knight, can go there. For now. Box. There's my cheesecloth for later. Come on. is so unprofessional, man. Quality entertainment, my butt. Starting Army, American Starting Army. Alright, well, anyway, what was it? Oh yeah, Bolt Action. Here you go. This is a British Airborne Starting Army. It's all in there, the entire army. For and if you look, it says mid to late. See? So those are the theatres that this box set is for, mid to late. Okay? Oh, you dirty, rotten Hoover Dam. I am just all over the place right now. I am so sorry, guys. You dickheads. I found all the little pamphlets and stuff that come with the damn sheets, but not the sheets. Oh, someone up there's mocking me. Oh, quit mocking me. Someone up there's mocking me. Oh, give me a minute, guys. I'm so sorry about this. I really am. This is so, totally unprofessional with me. You mean here? No, but there's a whole bunch of cleaning rags. What are my cleaning rags? Get off my finger. Oh, yeah, that's right. There's that. There's a Joker. Coaster. Loose nuts and bolts. That's a customer's 3D print. I've got to start here soon. So I'm going to move that over there. I really am at my wit's end. Let's move you guys. That's my 40 case. That's my Bolt Action tanks. Stuff. Come on, where are you? There's my cosplay leather gloves. Let's put those out of the way. What? Come on, damn thing. Where did I put them last? This is really going to bug me until I find them. Think, Dan, think. No, they're not down there. Aha! 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 Found him! Ha ha ha! Victory! I found him. Feckin' laptop was sitting on him. Oh, feckin' laptop. Of all things, my feckin' laptop. Oh, my laptop. Oh, of all things, it was my laptop. up. Right, so now I'm just gonna get all the air bubbles out. Beautiful. There we go. Alright, so now I can actually look at focusing. So I'm going to move this off the table. Bonk. Well, I guess that could have been a little bit entertaining for you guys. Hearing me piss, moan and complain. Of which I do apologise. You can tell I'm awfully British, can't you? I'm apologising for everything. Right, let me just fix this real quick. Oh, really? Fine. Where's my debonder? No, that one's the one that unlocked. Ah, it's over there on the other table. Ooh. Yoink. Yoink. Oh, here we go. I do apologise about that, guys. You're probably all thinking, will you stop apologising? No, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm British, it's what we do. Thank you for sticking around for that Benny Hill moment. I've got some super glue debonder on that tip real quick. Basically, this is an extra holder for my airbrush, but I don't own this table. This table belongs to my landlord, so I can't exactly like drill into it just so I can peg this in, so I have to super glue it. So yeah, and so I'm waiting for this debonder to do its thing, which it looks like it's starting to work. Oh wow, that is proper clogged, ain't it? Yeah, that's proper clogged. Yeah, this is no good. Oh well, in the bin. I'll just use my industrial stuff. And that tip is apparently clogged. You can tell the humidity here in the UK is a little bit high when super glue quite literally just dries without actually being used. Alright, so I'm just gonna done that there. Count to 30. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. That's the list you're bringing to the tournament, please. Absolutely. Un momento, por favor. I am taking 40 Poxwalkers, a detachment of guard, renegade guard, auto stubbers with grenade launchers. Typhus is my main HQ. Great Unclean One is going to be my heavy support. With it's two 7-man units of Plague Marines, and 3 of these little drones for the fast attack, and a dreadnought for my heavy support. And here is my dreadnought. It's literally the whole tournament that we're doing is like X amount of round robin kind of thing, which means it's going to be what are they called, scythe guards for Typhus. The reason why is because we are doing a round robin capture the flag style tournament, which means each match is only going to last a max of 4 turns, and it's all about objectives. That's why I'm going very heavy infantry based, is because I'm all about grabbing the objectives, keeping the objectives, and then move on from there kind of thing. 7, because 7 is Nurgle's number, which means I will be getting Nurgle's blessings, which is extra CP command points for free without actually having to spend for them. 7 is Nurgle's number. I want to say, okay, 7 is Nurgle's, 6 is Khorne's. Each specific Chaos God has a specific number that they like to use, and 7 is Nurgle's. And I'm a huge Death Guard fan, hence my Death Guard tattoo that's in the process of still being done. Down here is going to be the Chaos Star. Over here is going to show some like infected muscle tissue and whatnot. Up here is going to be teeth marks from where a Poxwalker bit me. And it's, yeah, that's what this whole tattoo is going to be about. It's about me being corrupted by chaos. So yeah, I'm a huge Chaos fan. I love the chaos. I love chaos. Chaos is my jam, my man. All right, so now let's see. Has my airbrush cooled down? It's still a little bit on the warm side, but I can use it briefly. So what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna pretty much just cheat. I'm gonna keep the main characters and stuff, which are gonna be like the heroes, if you will, of the unit, which is gonna be the Scythe guys, and Typhus for some more regular paint stuff. But the regular rank and file that you're about to see me do, I'm going to be doing a lot of dry brushing. So I'm going to grab my dry brushes real quick. And what I mean by dry brushing is I'm just literally going to do a little bit more work on the skin, and then I'm going to pick a basic color, probably blacks, browns, and blues, and just paint the clothing all separately, or even browns even. I might even do some browns. So there's that. This is not a dry brush. A lot of people keep saying, why don't I use this for a dry brush? This is I use this brush for terrain, for namely getting into specific parts and doing like really ultra highlight dry brushing. That's what I use that brush for. Otherwise it doesn't get used. It just stays there. These are my 3 core main dry brushes here. Okay, so there's that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my brush holder over to its palette and move the wet palette out the way, so you guys can see, somewhat see what I'm doing. Yeah, Dreadnought, like I said, vehicles, because they're going to be the quick and easiest ones to do because they're vehicles, I'm doing those last. Like I said, vehicles are some of the easiest things in 40k to paint, so they're going to get done last. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look through my greens. I might even go with a shade, and because I've got Poxwalker shade, I might even just go through and just hit them all with a Poxwalker shade and just call it good. In fact, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to hit them with a Poxwalker shade and call it good. Right, now, little tip, when it comes to GW's paint, Khorne is 8 and Tzeentch is 9. There you go then, like I said, but I know Nurgle is 7. 7 is Nurgle's number. To stop, I don't know why I think, I want to know, I want to say that I know why GW made their pot paints like this, but the fact of the matter is they did it because, well, think about it, how many times have you knocked over one of these and had to buy a new one? They specifically made these paint pots top heavy so that people will knock them over. Now these are just regular steel ball bearing mixing balls. I love to use these in GW paints because they're just way too thick. I mean, these things are thicker than Nicki Minaj and even thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. But yeah, Nurgle's number is 7, so I've got 7 in my units, with the exception of my Poxwalkers, because Poxwalkers can only be taken in a unit of 10 or 20. Unfortunately, you can't take them in the sacred number of 7, which is what I wanted to do. But yeah, so I've got a ton of Poxwalkers. I've got a ton of corrupted guardsmen as well that I've got to paint up as well. I'm thinking about I might paint them up in a pseudo quick grey, grey-green combo. Very similar to what I was going to practice. I'll probably end up using them for practice from my German bolt action. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just mixing it up. As you can see, this white powder at the bottom, that's actually the mixing medium. It's not paint. Okay, that's actually the mixing medium inside the jar where it wasn't mixed correctly. GW are known for not mixing their paints before shipping them out. And so this is which is why Duncan and a few Duncan, Peachy, all the guys at GW always tell you shake the living foobar out of your paints, because GW are so lazy that they don't even bother shaking them pre-hand. As where companies like Model Color and like Vallejo and a few others, they will shake they will pre-mix their paints. I've even got Army Painter Speed Paints. They pre-shake their paints too, you know, and yet GW is the only one who does not pre-shake their paints, and it shows. It absolutely shows. I'm sorry, but it does. Right, so what we're going to do is we are going to do a simple Poxwalker wash on these guys, because I just want to get these guys, because like I said, these are rank and file. I just want to get these done quick and dirty and out the window, out the door, sorry. Now, what I do to stop my top heavy paints from making a mess or being knocked over is I take them and I actually put them in my wet palette. Now the reason why I do that is twofold. One, the wet palette will actually suction cup it down, see, so you don't accidentally knock them over, so you can actually move the jar with a little bit of force. Yeah, or if you're inclined, you can go ahead and you know, go on Thingiverse or somewhere else like that and 3D print your own. Okay, this is my normal shade brush, but it's seen better days. Give me a few seconds. These are my old paint and sweats, hence that's why you can see all these paint stains and stuff here. It's literally, these are the trousers I wear when I paint, because I genuinely don't really. Yeah, the hook. Yeah, the tips are manky. You can hear it. You can hear how manky the hook is. See, that brush is no good. So, all right. Oh well, that's a dead brush. That's fine. I've got plenty more. All right, here we go. This is a brand new synthetic brush, Crawford Black series. You can get them from any arts and crafts store, pretty cheap. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my mini painter. We're going to grab this dead guardsman. We're going to slosh it all on as a base. Like I said, don't be afraid to water down your contrasts. You know, you can. I've got contrast medium as well, so if I really do want to, you know, like move it a little bit more, I will. I'll even hit this up with like a known oil wash as well, maybe later, mixed with a not known oil, sorry, yeah, known oil mixed with like a brown, you know, where you can make a really good, like disgusting bubonic brown sort of color. And so like I said, this is just a quick and dirty, easy way. So I'm going to grab this zombie here real quick. Yeah, I mixed it up with some zombified guardsmen, with some zombified like civilians and whatnot, because, you know, Nurgle doesn't just necessarily take your guardsmen, they'll take your civilians as well. They don't care. You know, they don't care. If I'm off screen, I do apologise, guys. Let me just... Like I said, this is first time me using a sort of camera at this angle. But I figured you guys would want to watch and see something a little bit closer. If you're new around here, guys, please hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. I won't spam you with like 50 videos a day. I only upload maybe once or twice in the week. Mostly because, you know, I'm going to school for cybersecurity, as well as the fact that I also have some health issues, so I can't really, you know, whatnot. I do have a Twitch gaming channel, so if video games are your thing as well, you know, my Twitch channel, it's Deceptive Cobras over on Twitch. I stream games like Warframe, World of Tanks, you know, just whatever picks my fancy. Sometimes I'll just stream single player games like Red Dead, things of that nature, just because, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm all for multiplayer games if you want to have fun, you know, kind of thing, but that's too many people become tryhards. Heck, there's a lot of times I'll end up streaming just mobile games, you know, like Street Fighter Duel or stuff like that. Mostly because, like I said, I just want to entertain people, make them feel better for a little while. You know, let them realise that the world's not so horrible. It's not so shitty. Pardon my French. I try not to swear on my streams, guys. Like I said, I want to try and be as family friendly as I can. The old me, the old me used to drop curse words every other word out my mouth used to be a curse word. But like I said, some things have happened in my life, and I thought to myself, you know what? No, I can't keep going that way. The world's full of hate as it is. We need some love. We need to put some love in this world. And so I try my best not to use curse words, things of that nature. I also do a vlog series called Coffee Time with Cobra, where I will talk about what's going on throughout my day, throughout the week, what's going on with the channel, business. I just use it as a form of therapy, if more than anything, where all I will do is just talk, But yeah, so the idea of the army is to pretty much take objectives, hold objectives, and win games. It's not necessarily I've got the biggest this, that, and the other. Don't get me wrong. I do have access to full size, to knights and various other larger models if I really want to go up in points. But there's really no point. I've got a couple of rhinos as well for troop carrier. For them. I remember back in the day when you could actually take devastators and stuff, and as long as they had the mark of Chaos Undivided, they could actually go with a Death Guard army. But now they've changed that all, and but I'm not. This is the thing. I've not really seen much about the new 10th edition stuff from what I've been reading. We're going to be doing. I think we agreed on either 6th edition or 8th edition rules. So we'll find out on the day. We'll find out on the day. So, but like I said, it's always good just to have an army in case you get a friend come over and say, hey, do you wanna? Can I test out my new Death Knight? My new Grey Knights, or or whatever, or my new Astra Militarum or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, sure, man, no worries. I'm also working on a Sisters of Battle army for myself. So yeah, that'll be fun when I get that up and running. It's gonna have a Saint Celestine and a few others, and it's not going to be very heavy. Again, it's not going to be very vehicle heavy. It will be very more infantry based. I like a lot of infantry based armies, so like Tyranids and stuff. A lot of people keep saying, why don't I be a Tyranid player? I have had Tyranid armies in the past. High Fleet Kraken, High Fleet Leviathan. I have had Tyranid armies in the past. I've even had Necron armies in the past. But they just, after a while, it just became boring. There's no real lore that you can explore with them, kind of thing. And so I started looking at other alternatives, and my friend was like, why don't you do a Chaos cultist army? I was like, can you do a cultist army? And he was like, yeah. And I mean, this is like back in 4th edition when the cultists. Do I ever play boarding action? Yes, I have looked into it. Same as I'm old school Mordheim and Inquisitor as well. I loved Mordheim. Mordheim was such a cool game. I really want them to bring it back. That's what I see boarding action as. I see it as more of a 40k variant of Mordheim. Or Inquisitor, just not on the 54mm scale that Inquisitor was. I loved Inquisitor. That was such a cool game system. It was such a cool format. Yes, granted, the Astartes was not to scale at all with the rest of whatnot. Ah, no, he just broke his leg. Zombie down, zombie down. That's alright. We can fix you. That's why we've got super glue. Right, we're moving on to the next one. If they break, they break. If it dies, it dies. It's all good. Like I said, so we're just going to hit this guy with a little bit of Pox Walker Juice. And then I'll probably hit it with like a brown wash. And then the last step's going to be an oil wash, because oils are going to take absolutely forever to dry. Plus, the methylated spirits, or the white spirits, or whatever you want to call it. It's going to be the smell. It's going to be janky. So Alright, so that's him done. Going to say about playing cultists in 4th. Yeah, so cultists back in the day in 4th edition, you could have up to 200, 300 cultists in one tactical squad. They were ridiculously large. I remember having to carry 4 of those big cases, those big black army cases, and they were just full of white metal cultist models. And it cost me a fortune. Luckily for me, I was working at Games Workshop at the time, and so I managed to get staff discount. But, whew, I worked out how much that army would have cost me to buy it as a regular non-employee, and there was no way I could have afforded it. But yeah, I had that army. It was my Chaos Cult army. Chaos Undivided, so I could also take any demons I wanted as well, and Chaos Sorcerer was my HQ, and oh, it was awesome. I loved it. It was awesome. That's what you could do back in 4th edition, 5th edition. You know, you could come up with some seriously good lore armies, and that's where I never get. Like I said, everyone's like, "Well, got one? You go with Astra Militarum," and I'm like, "I do have an Astra Militarum army, and I do. I have, you know, I've had Cadian, Kadchan, Mortarion Iron Guard. I've had tons of different variants of Guard army, but after a while, they're all just still cut and paste, just with different uniforms. I hate to say it, but it's true. I want an army that's got a bit of history, a bit of lore to it, you know, kind of thing, and that for me is Chaos. I've got pretty much every damn Chaos audiobook that's out there on Audible. Aaron Dembski-Balder is an amazing writer. John Banks, I love his voice, especially he's done the God, what is his name? Primogenitor, Fabulous Baal. He's done all the Fabulous Baal stories, and dude, your voice, I love it. I literally listened to the like last night. I literally listened to, I think it was like 4 or 5 chapters of Primogenitor before I went to bed. Well, I was listening to it when I was painting. I literally fell asleep at this desk, painting miniatures. So yeah. When I say I put in the hours, I put in the hours. And like I said, when the time I'm done, these guys will be. I mean, like I said, this is my army, but I live in a very cramped 1-bedroom bedsit, and so I don't have all the room in the universe for everything. And so sometimes, even when I'm finished with an army and I have every intention of keeping it, a lot of the time I end up selling it, or I end up giving it away, or trading it, or, you know. And so mostly because I just don't have the room, and I can't right now. I can't, because I'm going to school, because I'm a student kind of thing. I can't afford to move into somewhere else, so I'm literally stuck where I'm at right now until something, you know, happens or comes along or something like that. So plus recently something really bad happened to me, namely my crypto wallet got hacked and I lost down near all my life savings. So that's another reason why I can't move, is because, you know, but it is what it is, guys, you know. So not trying to get sympathy. I don't want sympathy. I just want people to understand that, you know, there are some nefarious people out there, and, you know, don't fall for it, you know. Just be smart. If it's too good to be true, it is. You know, it's just too good. But yeah, someone cleaned me out of my crypto. So, but it is what it is, guys. I can't hold on to that anger, because that anger is going to manifest itself into negative energy, and I don't want that. So, like I said, right now I'm just painting Poxwalkers. So I'll whack these colours on them. Like I said, I've only had one candy bar, and I do need to eat here in a bit, and I will be streaming again afterwards after I've eaten. I might take a quick break actually, and get a cup of tea or coffee in me, watch a bit of telly or something, and then come back with a fresh perspective. But yeah, I plan on streaming this entire army being painted, so every time I get to this bench, I don't care what time it is, I will go live. So like I said, this is why I say to you guys, please subscribe to the channel. That way you get a notification of when I've gone live, and you can hang out with me, and so, because I've got to get this done before Saturday. So Saturday's my deadline. Well, Friday night's the deadline, but you get what I'm saying. Like I said, I've got to work my fanny off. Plus, I've also got to work on putting a commander deck together for Magic as well. So that's going to be fun. So I've got to work on that while I'm painting these. So like I said, I've got tons of stuff I've got to get done. And luckily for me, my Alexa constantly reminds me of things I keep forgetting, like taking my medication and various other things. I still don't understand why people think it's okay for someone who has like brain trauma, and memory issues, to just tell them, oh yeah, just remember to take your tablets. But if I just remember to take stuff, or just remember to do stuff, I wouldn't have memory problems now, would I? But yeah, long story short, a couple of months ago, well, beginning of last year, I got the Jibby Jabby, and I started having reactions to the Jibby Jabby, and it showed up it manifested in the forms of blood clots, and one of those clots moved its way up to my brain, and did a number on my brain, and so I have memory issues. My short-term memory is basically non-existent. I keep forgetting things like all the time, and so I literally have to have my smartwatch with me with my Alexa reminder. No, shut up, Alexa. With my reminders to remind me to take my medication, and when I've got appointments and things of that nature. It's not exactly something I like to broadcast, but it is what it is, guys. What commander am I choosing? Abaddon the Despoiler. Come on. Yes, I'm lucky enough to have an Abaddon the Despoiler. A friend of mine, he pre-ordered one of the Chaos starter armies, and I thought I had memory issues, and he forgot about it, and then went to our local hobby store and bought the last one on the shelves, beat me to it, and then felt bad, and so I only wanted the Chaos starter set because it has Abaddon the Despoiler in it. That's all I wanted, which is Abaddon the Despoiler. And so he gave me the Abaddon the Despoiler out the set, and since then I've been looking at it, and I'm like, I could do so much with this. And because it's tricolours, I get to take, I can look at taking 3 different colours instead of just it being single colour like some commanders. So I'm looking at doing like maybe a red burn deck with his calamity ability, which means it gets to do double damage kind of thing. So that's my idea. Thanks for asking. It's not a lot of people who ask me, why am I taking this commander over that commander, etc., etc. Plus, like I said, I very rarely play commander. I mostly just play old school type 1 because that's the only cards I ever really have. I'm not really big into the newer sets. I mean, the fact that they did a Return to Ravnica and whatnot, and Neo Dynasty something or other, which is basically just Kamigawa, but basically cyberpunk Kamigawa, kind of ticked me off because I loved the samurais and stuff from Kamigawa. I loved Godo, Godo Tenzo's Maul, and the whole Godo untap all your samurais, they get to attack again. You know, like you get 2 combat main phases was always a cool idea in Kiki Jiki, and now Kiki Jiki is an enchantment. He's gone from a creature to being an enchantment, which always kind of like ticked me off. You know, I even thought about putting Kiki Jiki in as my commander, but that would literally just limit me to just red, which would suck. Because you don't want to limit yourself. As a Magic player, obviously, I'm a black player. I like my zombies. I like my life drain. I like my obviously, yeah. And yes, I do have a Mortarion and a few other cards on order. I bought them on eBay. That should be here in the next couple of days or so. I also buy Magic like random boxes of you can get them for like $4 or $5. Get 100 cards. And I do reviews of those. Not necessarily the sellers, just the cards themselves. It's like, okay, is this worth the $5 free shipping? We get this card, which is worth this. Like I said, I'm starting to branch out my content wise to start doing stuff like that. And if I do get, like good cards, from that seller, I will recommend them. I'll say, like, this is his eBay store, but 9 times out of 10, before I do stuff like that, I will order like 3 sets under 3 separate names, under 3 separate accounts. That way he doesn't realize I'm a reviewer or something. So because I know some people, they'll see, oh wait, hang on, this is like MTG Gamer, or this is Jared from wherever, or this is so and so from YouTube, and they will purposely put in like an ultra rare card. They'll bite the bullet, and put an ultra rare, like, I don't know, a Mox or whatever in there. Like a card that's worth a few bob in there, just so that YouTuber will then say, oh yeah, I got this from this guy, and then I got this and this pack and this and that pack. You should really buy from them. Knowing that he can then, take out this rare, that rare, kind of thing, and then put in a crappy rare, this, that, you know what I mean? Just mess around with those sort of box sets. I do that, and I purposely do it under pseudonyms, different addresses, and then that way I can give you an honest review from that seller, and say if he's worth buying from, or do you want to skip it, Plus, it's always good to just have cards in my collection. I collect Magic cards not for their value, like monetary value. I collect them because of there are some cards out there that just give me good memories. Case in point, Darkmoor Sorceress. Okay, Darkmoor Sorceress. She is from Alpha Beta. She wasn't even that powerful. She's literally just like star +1, where her star power is equal to the amount of swamps you control. She's not even that powerful. She's only like a 1 health. You could ping her for 1 and kill her. But I liked her because she was one of the first cards I ever got that I actually enjoyed the artwork on. And a friend of mine was like, you really do like that card? I'm like, yeah, I do. At one point, I was even thinking about getting it tattooed on me, getting Darkmoor Sorceress tattooed on me, because I just enjoy the art. I even met the artist who did the artwork, and he was telling me, there's actually 2 Darkmoor Sorceress art. So I was like, wait, what? He goes, yeah, and he showed them to me. There's one Darkmoor Sorceress where she's topless. Yeah, she's topless. You can see her nips and everything. And at the time, Magic Wizards turned that down and said, "Oh no, we can't do that. That's not faux pas kind of thing. We need her to be wearing clothes." And so he did another one where she's wearing a bra that has like skeleton hands on it, and that's the one that Wizards went with. And I was like, "Is there a chance that I can get a copy of her where she's topless?" And it's not because it's like a hentai thing or anything. It's just because that's how the artist originally intended to see. How he originally intended to have that art seen. And like I said, I'm a firm believer in supporting artists and supporting, you know, things like that. I mean, at the end of the day, I get it. You know, you can go to any AI art generator and say, hey, generate me a zombie, or generate me this, or generate me that, you know, and I get that. But at the same time, you know, I'm a firm believer in like I follow certain artists and certain PG, you know, models and whatnot on Instagram, and I ask them, I'm like, can I get a print of this picture, please, you know, and I'll pay them for it, you know, and they will say, you know, well, I've got more risque here, and I'm like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm genuinely looking for just a nice picture to have, you know, on my desk, you know, or wherever. Sorry, I rant a lot. I apologize, guys. I rant a lot. Right, so we've got one broken zombie. That's fine. We can fix him here in a minute. That's why we've got super glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Typhus now real quick. With this as well. Even though technically Typhus's helmet is white, which it shouldn't be. But you know, I don't make the law. Although I did use ChatGPT to write me a small Death Guard fanfic story, which is kind of cool. I was reading it and I was like, huh, can you put this into an audiobook? And so it read it up, the story up for me as an audiobook, so I could actually like voice the lines. And I was thinking about doing that and then putting it up on the YouTube channel, just as fan, you know, fan audio kind of thing. If you guys would be interested in that, let me know, and I will look at getting that squeezed in somewhere where I can get the time. Sorry if I'm out of focus. Again, guys, sorry. This is all a whole new like camera angle and stuff for me. So, you know, please bear in mind this is all like somewhat new for me to get everything into the frame and Are you still there, KK? So then that way I can dry brush them both with the Death Guard green as a highlight. Don't worry about the hood because that's going to get painted black. I see a red and I want it painted black. No colors anymore. I want them to turn black. Hey, not a problem, Boz. Thank you for hanging out. I greatly appreciate it, my friend. Thanks for the questions. You have a lovely day now, my friend. Okay? Lovely day, lovely night, you know. Thank you. I plan on that. I plan on that, my friend. Bless it be. Have fun, my friend, with whatever you're doing. Catch you later. Bye, my friend. No colors anymore. I want them to turn black. Girl, just up inside some clothes. Into my darkest I could not possibly see what drew me to you. In this summer cold, baby, it just happened. Oh, hay fever's catching up to me. Let's see, pink, black, black as night, black as so. I want black it out from the sky, yeah. I want to see you paint it, paint it, paint it, paint it black. Much better. So we have got a lot of poxwalkers. We have got doing these Death Shroud Terminator. Death Shroud Terminator, that's what they call it. Death Shroud Terminators. I love you. Bloody hay fever. Wait a few seconds for the debonder to do its job. I could not forcibly see that meaning to you. Oh, Larry, you're always laying down on the job. Get up. What have I told you about that, Larry? This thing clogs up like crazy. It's because of the temperature. If you wonder what I just did, I blew back into the bottle. That way it pushes the super glue that's in the nozzle out, so it doesn't dry. And just to make sure, I will take my clippers. deep on in the neck, it doesn't. Glue won't dry. Right. So we have gotten quite a ways. I'm actually quite proud of that. I really am. We've actually gotten quite a ways. Gotten Terminators, all the Poxwalkers, with the exception of you. And you. And you. And so now I'm just going to get these guys. These are GW minis. You can tell there was like barely any love given to how these models are made. Bloody press fit. It's embarrassing. Right, so we're gonna hit it with some Poxwalker. Alright guys, I'm going to take a break for a bit. I will be back. Going cross-eyed. Oh, all the lights. So, bear with me guys. I will see you all again soon. I just need like maybe a 45-minute hour break. And I will see you all again here soon.